Emma didn't worry right away. At first, it was just ordinary fatigue. She chalked it up to the end of the school year and stress at work. But her 6-year-old daughter, Lily, her little star, started complaining about pain in her legs, especially in the evenings. At first, she whimpered quietly, but the complaints grew more frequent, even waking her up at night, crying. Emma tried soothing ointments and massages, but they helped little. Lily, usually so lively and cheerful, became quiet, spending more time sitting and drawing. "Mom, can we skip the park today?" "My legs hurt," Lily asked one day, and Emma's heart sank. The park was their weekend ritual, a cherished tradition. Emma decided it was time to see a doctor. They started with a pediatrician, who referred them to an orthopedist. The orthopedist examined Lily carefully, asked questions, palpated her legs, and then his face darkened. "We need to do an X-ray and run some tests," he said. Emma waited for the results on pins and needles, jumping at every phone call. Finally, the clinic called, asking her to come in urgently. In the doctor's office, Emma could tell everything from his expression alone, sympathy mixed with concern. "Mrs. Harper, the test results and X-ray, they're not good," the doctor said softly, choosing her words carefully. "Lily has a growth in her femur. You need to see an oncologist immediately. Surgery may be required." Emma's world tilted. A growth. An oncologist. Surgery. The words felt like a verdict. She left the office in a daze, clutching the referral to the oncology center. Her legs buckled, her mind buzzed. Leaning against a wall, she whispered, "Lily, my baby," as tears streamed down her face. The first visit to the oncology center was a nightmare. Long queues, weary faces, the smell of antiseptic. After examinations and more tests, the diagnosis was confirmed, a rare form of tumor. Surgery was needed urgently before the tumor could grow. "It's a complex, expensive procedure," the doctor said. "We'll do everything we can, but I can't make guarantees. The sooner we operate, the better the chances of success." Emma left the office stunned. Expensive? Where would she get the money? Her salary was decent, but most of it went to the mortgage and daily expenses. Savings were nearly non-existent. She called her husband James and told him everything, trying to stay calm, though her voice trembled. James listened silently, then sighed. "That's tough, but what can we do? We'll find the money." Find the money? As if it were that simple. Emma started calling friends, asking for loans. Some promised help, others declined, citing their own struggles. At work, she spoke to her boss, explaining the situation. He was sympathetic, offering financial assistance and suggesting a fundraiser among colleagues. Emma began cutting corners everywhere. No new clothes, no movie outings, no morning coffee. Every penny went into an envelope labeled Lily. At night, after Lily fell asleep, Emma scoured forums and websites about cancer, researching clinics, doctors, and treatments. James promised to help too. "I'll do my best, Emma," he said. "I'll take extra shifts, whatever I can." He started staying late at work, coming home exhausted. Emma believed him, hoping for his support. She thought Lily's illness had united them, made them stronger. They lived in a state of anxiety and hope, anxiety that never let up, and hope that flickered in her heart, giving her strength to keep going. Hope that everything would be okay, that Lily would recover, that they'd overcome every obstacle. Days turned into weeks. Emma and James worked tirelessly. Emma took extra shifts. James accepted any side job. They saved every cent, denying themselves everything. Slowly, the amount in the envelope grew. Emma looked around their modest apartment, where every item once spoke of a carefree life. Now everything seemed superfluous. The only thing that mattered was saving Lily. James often mentioned that his mother, Margaret, was worried about her granddaughter and willing to help. But Margaret, a domineering and self-centered woman, never went beyond words. She called frequently, asking about Lily's health and offering advice, but never mentioned actual help. Emma tried not to dwell on it. The priority was gathering the money. After months of grueling effort, they finally had enough. Emma counted the money multiple times, hardly believing it. She called the clinic to confirm they were ready to pay for the surgery. "Excellent," the doctor replied. "We can admit Lily in a week. Prepare all the necessary documents." Emma hung up, crying with joy, relief, and exhaustion. She hugged Lily tightly. "Everything's going to be okay, sweetheart," she whispered. "We'll get through this." James came home late, weary. Emma told him about the call and the scheduled admission. He smiled. "See? The worst is over. Now we just need the surgery to go well." That evening, as Lily slept, Emma and James sat in the kitchen, sipping tea. Emma looked at James, reflecting on how much they'd been through. Lily's illness had tested them, but they'd endured. With the worst behind them, she felt immense gratitude for James's support. She believed they were a true family, together forever. The day before the payment deadline, the clinic called. The voice on the line was polite, but firm. "Mrs. Harper, we're sorry, but the payment for Lily's surgery hasn't been received. The operating slot has been canceled. If the funds aren't transferred today, we'll have to give your spot to another patient." Emma's world collapsed. She felt the ground slip away. All her efforts, sleepless nights, scrimping, begging, it was all for nothing. "How can that be?" she stammered, her voice shaking. "We had the money. James was supposed to deposit it yesterday." Panic surged. She called James. "Ring, ring, ring." Silence. Finally, he answered. "James, where's the money? The clinic called. The payment didn't go through. What happened?" Mumbling came through the phone. James hedged, evasive, unable to explain. "Emma, it's just... well..." Dread gripped her. "James, tell me straight. Where's the money?" A pause. "Look, Emma, Mom needed a vacation." Emma froze. "A vacation? What are you talking about?" "Mom's always dreamed of going to Turkey. She's worked her whole life, never been anywhere, and there was this last-minute deal." Emma couldn't believe it. "You took the money for our daughter's surgery and paid for your mother's vacation?" Her voice broke into a scream. "Don't yell, Emma. Lily can wait. The doctor said the tumor's slow growing. Mom begged me. I'll pay it back as soon as I can." "Pay it back? This surgery is about our daughter's life. Every minute counts. How could you?" Tears streamed down her face. Rage, despair, and helplessness swirled into a painful knot. That evening when James came home, Emma was trembling with nervous exhaustion. She waited, sitting on the edge of the bed, her eyes red from crying. He walked in, head down, avoiding her gaze, and slumped into a chair. "Emma, I'm sorry. I know I messed up. But Mom was crying, begging, saying it was her last chance to see the world. And our daughter's chance at a healthy life? Does that mean nothing to you?" Emma's voice was steel. "It does. Of course it does. But Mom's old, she's struggling. Lily's young, she has her whole life ahead." "How dare you say that?" Emma leapt up. "You betrayed your daughter, betrayed me. You gave our last dime to your mother's whim, knowing it could save Lily." "Don't yell, Emma. I'll fix it. I'll get a loan." "You can't fix this," she cut him off. "You've shown who you really are, a spineless mama's boy who puts his mother's wants above his child's life." James fell silent, head bowed. He knew she was right. He'd always been weak, unable to stand up to his mother. Margaret had always been his ultimate authority, while Emma and Lily were secondary. That night, after an endless fight, James confessed everything. Margaret had pressured him relentlessly, lamenting her hard life, her years of toil without reward. She called the vacation her last chance to see the sea, and James caved, forgetting his daughter, his wife, his responsibility. Emma listened, a hollow ache growing inside her. James hadn't just made a mistake, he'd betrayed her and Lily. He'd shown their lives meant nothing to him. Yet, amid the despair, a new resolve sparked in Emma. She wouldn't let anyone humiliate or betray her again. She'd pull her daughter through, no matter the cost. The next morning, Emma woke with one thought: find the money, whatever it takes. She called everyone she knew, pleading for help. Some gave small amounts, others refused. She tried for a bank loan, but James's bad credit history blocked her. Desperate, she turned to microfinance companies, knowing the risks. She took out high-interest loans, piecing together the sum bit by bit. Exhausted but unstoppable, she felt a fierce strength. She was doing this for Lily's life. By evening, she had the money. With trembling hands, she paid the clinic. They scheduled Lily's surgery for 2 weeks later. Back home, Emma collapsed onto the bed, drained but elated. She'd done it. She'd saved her daughter. Lily was admitted to the hospital. The pale green walls felt oppressive, but they couldn't dim the focused hope in Emma's heart. The surgery was set for the morning. Emma stayed by Lily's side, filling every moment with care and love, reading stories, playing quiet games, sharing childhood memories to distract her from fear and pain. James visited, but kept his distance, avoiding Emma's eyes, weighed down by guilt. Emma saw his remorse, but after everything it felt too late, too small. She couldn't forgive him yet. The surgery was a success. Emma waited hours in the corridor, racked with worry, praying silently. When the doctor emerged, saying everything went well, relief washed away weeks of tension. Lily was moved to the ICU, where Emma could only see her briefly each day, but those moments fueled her strength. James came too, lingering silently, bringing flowers and fruit, gestures that felt hollow, like attempts to ease his guilt. Emma didn't judge him, but a chasm had formed between them, seemingly unbridgeable. On the 3rd day, as Lily grew stronger and was moved to a regular ward, something unexpected happened. The door swung open, and Margaret appeared, tanned, beaming, carrying a bag stuffed with souvenirs. "Here I am," she exclaimed, surveying the room. "Missed me? I brought so much from Turkey." Emma froze. Margaret, unabashed, began unloading magnets, keychains, sweets, and trinkets onto the bedside table, chattering about the sun, the sea, the food, the excursions. Her voice dripped with smug delight. Emma watched, anger rising. She saw Lily's face shift, confusion, then hurt, then a quiet, childlike pain. James stood, head down, silent, hoping the situation would resolve itself. He was wrong. Margaret, caught up in her story, didn't notice. She handed Lily a plush camel. "For you, sweetie, so you'll remember Grandma and Turkey." Lily, pale and weak, propped herself up. Her eyes, brimming with tears, fixed on her grandmother with silent reproach and a wisdom beyond her years. In a faint voice, she said, "Grandma, did you go on vacation with the money for my surgery?" The room froze. Margaret, radiant with her tan, went white as a sheet. Her mouth opened, but no sound came. James, beside her, stared at the floor, shifting uncomfortably, unable to speak. Lily's shallow breaths seemed deafening. Her eyes, once full of childish joy, now held a profound sadness. She looked at her grandmother as if seeing a stranger. Emma, who'd watched calmly until now, felt a wave, not of anger, but of icy resolve. Lily's words were the final straw. She stepped to the bed, gently stroked her daughter's hair, and turned to Margaret. "You have no place here anymore," she said quietly, firmly. There was no malice, just exhaustion and unshakable conviction. Margaret stammered about family and grandchildren, but Emma's look, full of pain and disillusionment, silenced her. James tried to defend his mother, but Emma turned away, dismissing him as if he were nothing. He was no longer her husband, her support, her partner, just a shadow of the past. "James, take your mother out," Emma said without looking at him, "and don't come back." Like a man under a spell, James took Margaret's arm and led her out, head bowed. Margaret cast a final, bewildered glance at Lily, but the girl turned to the wall. When the door closed, Emma sat on the bed and took Lily's hand. It was small and frail, but Emma felt its strength, the strength of love, loyalty, and hope. "Everything's going to be okay, sweetheart," she whispered, kissing Lily's forehead. "Now, everything will be okay." As soon as the doctors allowed, Emma took Lily home. She didn't make a scene or demand apologies. She packed her things and left, leaving James a brief note. "I'm filing for divorce." At first, Lily was weak and fussy, needing constant care. Emma stayed by her side, surrounding her with love, reading stories, playing with dolls, walking in the park. She did everything to help Lily forget her illness and her father's betrayal. James tried to reach out, begging for forgiveness, swearing he loved Lily and would make amends. But Emma was resolute. She couldn't forgive his betrayal or forget his indifference to their daughter's suffering. Trust was shattered beyond repair. Weeks later, Emma filed for divorce. The process was quick and straightforward. James didn't contest it, knowing he'd lost everything. After the divorce, Emma felt free, as if a weight had lifted. She no longer depended on James, his mother, or their selfishness and lies. She was alone but strong, with Lily as her love and hope. Emma rented a small apartment on the city's outskirts and took 2 jobs to support them. It was tough, but she didn't complain. She knew it was temporary, that Lily would recover, and they'd start anew. One evening, as Lily slept, the doorbell rang. It was James, looking haggard and broken. "I know you'll never forgive me," he said, "but I had to see Lily." Emma let him in silently. He stood by Lily's bed watching her sleep, tears in his eyes. "I know I'm a terrible father," he whispered, "but I love her. I always will." Emma said nothing, just watched. She saw his sincerity, his regret, but she couldn't forgive him. James lingered a moment, then left. Emma closed the door, staring at it, half expecting him to return. He didn't. Life went on. Lily grew stronger, more active, and joyful. Emma worked, cared for her daughter, and planned for the future. One day, while walking in the park, Lily stopped and looked at Emma. "Mom, will we ever see Dad again?" Emma sighed and knelt beside her. "I don't know, sweetheart," she said. "Maybe someday. But for now, it's better just us." Lily hugged her tightly. "I love you, Mom," she whispered. "I love you too, sweetheart," Emma replied, kissing her forehead. In that moment, they were happy. They were together, and that was enough. They knew challenges lay ahead,